And here we are, we're live. Welcome, one and all. And you may be coming in with me on the Gwenda Smith page, which is more of my, what I might call my spiritual page. You might be joining me on the Heal with Gwenda page, or you could be on the Heal with Gwenda YouTube channel. If you are watching on the YouTube channel, could I ask you to subscribe and maybe even click on the little bell so that you get notifications? This inspires me to be able to come to you with more of the wonders of the messages from the divine. And it also paves the way for you to be able to make the changes in your life that you would like to make. Tuesday evening, we had a go at, and by the way, thank you for popping in. You are able to put comments, so you might need to give StreamYard permission. They don't look for, hi Linda, how you going? They don't look for your information. They just ask for you to give permission to be able to come into the studio or to be able to comment. So that'd be great if you do that. And hi Rosie, how you going? That's lovely to see some of you coming in. Thank you. Because Tuesday night we had all sorts of fun and games. Hi Cat Gray. So I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to give StreamYard a go and come across this way and come in and have a chat with you all today for some updates and also something that has been brought to my attention. When I say something's brought to my attention, it is because of what is being shown to me from the divine. And hi, Sharon Jones, how you going? It's not even Tuesday, but here we are. When I say the divine, the almighty divine, I do use the term God. And for people that go, oh, no, I'm not religious, and no, I don't believe there's some big man in the sky, that's not the case at all. But it's what sits with me because of my experiences throughout my life of being a seer, my experiences throughout my life of being a channel, a pure channel of divine light, which is my natural way to be. I don't talk to the universe, as those of you who follow me know, because the universe is a very big place. And if you want to just go, well, the universe has got my back, well, good luck in knowing who that is and who's answering you. And in particular, this last nearly 3 years now, where the world has been tipped on its head and, you know, things have become very strange to the way that we were living. So in that time, there has been a lot of uncovering of the illusion, a lot of uncovering of the veil that sits between the worlds, but also a lot of uncovering of the veil of the illusion that has been created here through anything but the light. And it is what has trapped, entrapped, captured the masses. And it is what has led human beings away from the essence of themselves, which is their infinite, eternal self, the spirit of you, the spirit of me. In this last few days, I've been getting ready for the next adventure of the Conscious Soul Evolution Symposium. Now, this Conscious Soul Evolution Symposium was brought to me through meditation. It was shown to me in 2018. I began doing all of the writing, the automatic writing for it in 2019. It took a year to put it all together, and then we launched it. And we launched it under a different name. It was the Conscious Conversation Conference. Oh, what a mouthful. And when I read what the purpose of it was, it just made my heart sing. So we were set to launch that in Perth in March 2020. So we all know what happened there. It never went because nothing went, right? So it got put on the back burner. And then I asked only several months ago, what do you want done with this? And I was shown that it was to go ahead, only it is now under a different name, and it is the Conscious Soul Evolution, which is absolutely perfect with what has been going on. So, what has gone on in the last 2.5 odd years, nearly 3, that tipped humanity on its head, and for a lot of people, they're still on their head. But for many people, the situations that have come to be made them start to question, made them start to listen to that inner call, to that, oh, there's something not right about this. So this is what is called the conscious soul. Someone who is being conscious to their energy bodies, that is being conscious to things on a higher level than what the eyes can perceive, what is being seen in front of them. And the excitement of the conscious soul evolution is amazing for what it's to bring to Australia, to the greater world. So I'm getting ready for that I'll be doing in Queensland next weekend, not this coming weekend, next weekend. And other than that, something that's really important around that is the light and the false light. Some of you will have seen my post yesterday. And what is being shown to me is that all of a sudden we have people that a lot of people might consider are famed. I'm not going to use the word famous, but famed. And they might appear on things like H.E.A.L, they might appear on things like Mind Valley. There's another one on YouTube, Soul something, can't remember the name of it. So these famed people, um, that pop up on these places, and they're touted by the likes of H.E.A.L and Mind Valley as, the experts in their fields. So they have been working for maybe 10 years, maybe more, but they've all of a sudden gone from being a coach or an author, maybe even an oracle deck creator, to being a channel. And it comes up in the funniest way, just pops up as if the divine says, have a look at what's going on. So these people are coming out claiming to suddenly be channels for the divine council, for the light, the council of light, for the grand light, all this nonsense. So I've watched a couple of them because that's what was asked. And I can tell you right now, they are not channeling. One in particular is not channeling at all. The other, half. But they are not channeling the light. They're certainly not channeling the council of light. And what I'd like you to be aware of is, first and foremost, it's always your responsibility to check in with your higher self. When you want guidance, when you want the right person of the right place that aligns with your soul, with your spirit, you check in. Like some of you here with me today are often with me on a Tuesday night. So I've come to be aware of you, and I appreciate you very much. It's really important at this time, when the false light is working very hard to hold on to what it has had control over the masses for a long time. That table is turning, and it's nearly turned right over. And the false light knows this. So it is trying its darndest in every which way, and it is seeping in like mold into the truth of spirituality, into the truth of what is the work of the light. And it's insidious. It is like a revolting mold that just seeps its way along through the brickwork. So people who claim to be a channel of the Grand Council, to be a channel of the Council of Light, first and foremost, if you're going to go to someone like that and they start asking you questions, or you go to any reader and they ask you questions, leave. Just leave. Don't pay them anything. Secondly, if they start to say that they're going to channel ask them, who are they channeling and what is the purpose of that channel? And if they can't tell you, or when they start to tell you and it just doesn't sit right with you, get up and leave. Don't go any further. Don't pay them anything. And don't sign up to any memberships. If they say they are going to channel the Council of the Light, the Grand Council of the Light, or any such thing, that they're a master channel of the light, and then they tell you they have to close their eyes to channel, just turn them off. Turn them off if you're watching them. If you're in front of them, tell them that you don't wish to go any further, because they are not channeling from the light of the divine. They are channeling from the false light. And why is this? Hi, Kim Jade. Laura, are you there? Oh, Laura, hi. If they were to be channeling from the light and they were a true channel, an authentic channel of divine light, they do not have to close their eyes, and they can tell you who they are channeling. And for you as the receiver, the recipient, you can feel it. When you are, hi Melanie, hello, I'm going to be seeing you next week. Wow, exciting. When you are sitting with someone who is doing this work and claiming to be of the light, or, as we've been talking about, and you get a sicky feeling, or you just feel uncomfortable, you might even find that you're fidgety, it's time to go. It's time to say, I'm sorry, I can't continue here, right? Very important. Me too, Melanie. And I'm going to help you with that asthma. When I see you, I'm going to check out what's going on in those lungs, and see why there is contraction in the lower lobe of both lungs, Melanie. So these things, why I've come in to share this with you is because I've been called upon to do so, because the false light can so easily dupe you. Somebody said to me many years ago, oh, I don't know why you don't just wear cubic zirconias. Nobody knows the difference. I think that is a perfect line for what's going on presently. So many people do not know the difference between the light and the false light. And does it matter? Too right it does. Too right it does. If you want to be able to utilize the incredible intelligence within yourself, the wisdom in you to guide you in your life, to heal you, to bring you abundance, to make any change, then you want to be sure it is divine light that you are calling in and that you are working with. How would you know if you, for example, decided that you were going to use tarot cards for yourself, or, let's call them the kind name, the angel oracle cards, or something like that? Let's say you were going to do a reading for yourself, but you didn't actually set yourself up properly, and you didn't actually set the boundaries, the way of connecting to your highest self and your higher self, and then to the divine, so that what is being brought to you is truly of your spirit, your soul, and of divine light. The false light can masquerade as anything, and it's certainly doing a very good job at the moment of masquerading through people who are famed, who have got that name up there in lights, who now feel that they are a channel and they're channeling. One thing that made me laugh on one of them that I had to listen to, it still makes me laugh. So she's channeling she couldn't say who, just channeling Council of Light, and then starts talking about her programs that she's written, her courses that she's got for you. Well, I can tell you right now, and I'm pretty sure all of you that are on here would know, then that is not divine light that is speaking through her. I have to laugh because otherwise it makes my hair go really frizzy. So annoying. So ridiculous. In this last few years, there has been such a tremendous amount of fear created. People are in a place of great overwhelm, anxiety, health issues more than ever. So to become more aligned to your true self, to become more aware of what is the light and what isn't, like Karen McAllister, it is funny, isn't it? Is vital for you at this time. Really important. Then the other thing I wanted to share with you today is that I was on my radio show on edgeradioaustralia.com. It's an online broadcasting radio show, and I actually get to be the jock. So I get to drive the music and the mics and all that, and it's really cool, learning new things. I won't get Alzheimer's, or learning new things. And the topic today was, is this as good as it gets? So we were talking about all different things around life, and is this as good as it gets? And I was talking about working with people and helping them be able to realize the healing light within themselves, realize the depth and the power that they have just sitting within them, but how easily it is given away, how easily it is lost. We were also talking about how it's claimed that we are the sum of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. Well, I don't know about it being that that accurate, and we were having a laugh about the science because it's all about, follow the science. Am I being cynical, sarcastic? Yes, because if I don't, my hair stands on ends. Science has been that insidious mold that has seeped its way into true spirituality, that has managed to distract people away from their truth. Because you see, when you are completely in alignment and in harmony with your true self, with your heart, and with the divine, there is no science. And there can't be any science, because there is no science that can explain, give you an equation for faith. And when you are in that alignment, you have faith, and you know the power of surrender. You know the power of being able to hand it over and go, it's going to be okay. Now, on the show before all the fun started on Tuesday night on the Spiritual Events Directory, there was a lady on there that asked me, how does she feel happy? How can she get past the fact that she'd had, one death, and now her sister had been diagnosed with cancer, if I'm recalling correctly. So that for her had ruined her life. Well, with the greatest of love and respect, I say it's got nothing to do with her life. The unfortunate circumstances are something that she is experiencing in her perspective that are actually taking place in the young man's life and in her sister's life. But when we want to make somebody else's life and their issues or their experiences, when we try and take them on and turn them into ours, which we have no right to do, but when we try and do that, we create the most incredible pain for ourselves. And that pain can become quite a serious illness, and then wonder where it came from. It's not about how am I supposed to be happy when this and this and this has happened in my life. It hasn't actually happened to you. It has been an experience that you have some interconnectedness with. And don't get me wrong, when my dad passed away, he was my absolute hero. My dad was my everything. When he passed away, I said to the divine, I am not being your conduit anymore. I am not going to do this. I'm not going to work for you anymore. Hi, Tanya Atkins. And I drove down the freeway here in Perth in tears. I was angry. I was shouting at God. And I said, that's it. I'm not reading for you anymore. I'm not being your messenger anymore in this world. You took my dad. So I do understand grief. Man, oh man, do I understand grief. And I have experienced it. But when we want to claim it and say, how can I be happy with what's happened to me? This is a misconception. The bigger question is, how can I evolve through this situation, experience, sadness, grief, sorrow? How can I evolve myself? Because when you evolve yourself and when you heal yourself, you can actually heal family lines of woundedness, of grief, of lack, of struggle. When you decide to say, how can I evolve through this experience, you bring a greater light to everyone you're connected with. You bring an incredible healing to everyone you're connected with. And through that, you have an amazing impact on humanity. And that is what you're here for. If you've been questioning what's your life purpose, what am I supposed to be doing here, that's what it is. It is for you to evolve. It is for you to be able to take the lived experiences, no matter how difficult they are, and evolve with them, through them. And if you don't want to be coming back for 100,000 lifetimes, I'd suggest that you get busy with how you can evolve. Keeping a sense of humour through the craziness of this life is really important. Hi, Vicky Price. And that's exactly right. We heal others. When we aren't healing ourselves and when we're sitting in, and I'm going to use the word, when we're sitting in victim mentality, we are creating such tremendous constriction and, tremendous constriction and difficulty on our spirit, on our soul. And we do actually impact others around us. Just think about when you sit, yes, Cat Gray, and that's the best you can do. As long as you are every day saying, I am going to be the very best version of me today. And for everything that comes to me today, it offers me some way of evolving. Every time we evolve, we heal. And as I've said before, healing's not just because you're going to heal doesn't mean you're broken. It's not what it is. And if you're looking at it as, oh, I'm broken, or she's saying I'm broken, then it's best to go and look in the mirror and go, what am I doing? What on earth am I doing to be having that attitude? Our attitude dictates our health. Our attitude dictates our whole well-being. So whenever you need an attitude reboot, an attitude tune-up, it's best to take it and acknowledge that that's what was going on. So being able to fulfill your reason for being in this world, first up is to be very aware that all around you is not necessarily true. It's not necessarily the light. Much around you is the false light. So how can you call in the light and know that it's the light? You need to step into daily practices, intention setting, breath work. Yes, breath work. Grounding, centeredness, and choosing a particular value of yours and live it in everything you do throughout that day. So if one of your key values is kindness, then you would choose kindness, and you would see kindness being emanated from you to all that you encounter in the day, and kindness coming back to you. It works a treat, it brings you peace, and it also allows you or provides the way for you to be able to see what is not the light. So remembering that saying or that phrase that someone said to me, why don't you just buy cubic zirconias? Nobody knows the difference. That's just not the way to live. It's cheating, it's false, it's fooling yourself. And if you're going down those kind of paths, then you're really at odds with yourself and at odds with your higher self. And it just makes for a life of difficulty and struggle. And I want to say to you too today that the thing about pain, I find pain fascinating. I don't like it. Don't get me wrong, I don't like it. But I find it fascinating because when you decide to sit down with it and really get to know that pain and find out what it is, you'll be amazed every time. And you know what? As soon as you do, something shifts. Something shifts in your heart, it shifts in your center being, and suddenly, that pain's not there. It is a miracle. Your physical body is capable of healing in an instant. For people that have carried chronic illness or are experiencing what is called maybe a fatal illness, I understand that you will be saying, well, that's just rubbish. And I'm going to say back to you, it's not. But when you want to claim words like that it's rubbish, oh, I can't heal this, I can't do that, then I can understand why you have a chronic illness. And when people tell me, I'm trying so hard to heal, well, therein is the issue. Trying is not doing. And sometimes we do try too hard. Healing is amazing, absolutely amazing. And the body is incredible in its way of response once you release what that pain is about. So if we can think of pain as literally being something that is creating dreadful tension in the body. So if you were to ask yourself, what am I so tense about? And initially, quite often you'll be like, oh, nothing really. I had a bad day at work the other day, or oh, I was a bit annoyed with this or that. But no, nothing really. That's not the truth. You're not sitting in the truth of yourself. And sometimes we even have to go back many years to be able to say, oh my gosh, have I been carrying that for all this time? And finally the body says, oh, yahoo, I can be free. Thank goodness for that. It's done. It's over. And I can heal. And it is fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. So I find pain intriguing. Don't say I like it, just that I find it intriguing. In tonight's session in the H.E.A.L community, we're going to be doing some incredible energy healing through the chakras. So I'm going to take the community through the practice, the way of being able to align with a particular chakra and find out what is sitting in that energy space, both in the physical self and outside of the physical self. We're going to have so much fun. We always have a live session on a Thursday, be it a actual interactive learning or me sharing wisdom, but we have some awesome, cool subjects. Hello, Karen Lee. Fancy seeing you on here. Yeah, well, it's really the only way I know to fly, Karen. So, looking after yourself, making that pledge to yourself to honor you is the way that you can live a more joyous, a more harmonious life and heal. Kat, that's in my H.E.A.L community. That's the membership-based community, love. That is at 6:30 Queensland time. So I have to think there. Yeah. Oh no, I'm fibbing to you. I'm sorry, Kat. 5:30 Perth time. So I think that's 7:30 Queensland time. Kat Gray, are you going to come and see me next weekend while I'm in Queensland, or come and meet with me over there? I hope so. It'll be lovely to meet you in person. Yes. Thank you, Melanie. Yeah, so it's 7:30. The thing about honouring yourself, and on the radio show that I do on Thursday mornings, 10 a.m. Perth time, so 12 o'clock Queensland time, 1 o'clock Eastern States time. Oh, good, Kat, good. Don't miss out on the early bird ticket, sweetheart. Hello, Backhand and everyone. So on the radio show, so that is on edgeradioaustralia.com, on a Thursday morning, we do the soul therapy show. And today's topic was, is this as good as it gets? And the question from the co-host with me this morning, because my guest wasn't able to come in, he asked what the problem is when everything else is more important than you. So what he's saying is that when you think you've got to do this, you have to do that. We were talking about small business owners, Karen Lee, and anyone else on here is a small business owner. Because some years ago, I was MC at a business awards night, and I gave the audience, these people in the running for business awards, and so I was talking to them about wellness as a small business owner, and it was amazing to see the eyes glaze over. Oh, nobody wanted to know about wellness. They only wanted to know about money and awards. So I hit them up with the fact that at that time in the Royal Perth Hospital, 80% of the patients, I know I'm old school, right? 80% of the patients on the heart coronary ward at Royal Perth Hospital were small business owners. 80%. And that is an extraordinary percentage of a particular um, group of community to be having heart attacks and serious heart issues. And the reason for that is because they don't look after themselves. They're all of their, it's huge, hey, Karen. And that's why when I was talking to them about the importance of their health will represent their wealth, and they would glaze over because I was talking about health and wellness. When I finished, a couple of them came up. One lady came up and thanked me because she had actually had a heart attack 2 weeks before the event, and she knew what I was talking about. She was in Royal Perth Hospital. And she said, "You've really inspired me to look after myself." And I thought, my goodness me, a heart attack wasn't enough to inspire you to look after yourself? I can only hope. And she was only a young woman. She was in her 30s. And then another man came up and in his strong Irish accent told me that I'd frightened the out of everybody. And I asked him, what did he mean? And he said, "Well, telling people that terrible, terrible thing about 80%, that's terrible. You scared the out of them." And I said, "Well, good." And he said, "What do you mean, good?" And I said, "Well, good. If that's what it takes for them to wake up to the fact that they have to look after themselves if they want their business to succeed, then good." And he said, "I don't think I want to talk to you anymore tonight." And I said, "That's fine." He was only joking. After he'd come up to me, a lovely young lady walked towards me with a frail man. She had her arm linked in his, and he come up to thank me. And he said he was 3 days out of hospital from open heart surgery. And I was just like, oh my God, you should not be here. He was still very unwell. And he said, "I understood everything you said. I've never looked after myself. Everything that I've done, all my thoughts have been about my business." Now, that doesn't just apply to business owners. How many of you can say that you spend more time running after family, running after kids, doing for other people, everything for everyone else, and you're somewhere down the list, and then the day's done and you're nowhere? You didn't even get a mention in what went on the day. So the question from Aaron this morning was, well, how do I make me be higher up on the list? And I said, well, first and foremost. And he goes, well, what? And I said, how about you honor yourself and you show yourself that you care about you? And he said, I hate it when you're right like that. And I said, it's not about being right. If you're not going to honor yourself, who is? And if you're not going to honor your physical body by looking after it, who is? No one else can look after your physical body except you. No one else can look after your health and well-being except you. So when you want to be loving yourself, honoring yourself, it's not selfish to honor, love, nurture yourself, because it's the same as I was saying before. When you heal you, you heal others in your family. When you heal others in your family, you can heal generations past and future. So when you are displaying to the world outside of you what it's like to stand in a place of honoring yourself, you are creating that same incredible ripple out to everyone who comes across you, everyone who knows you. And through doing that, you are uplifting the power of love. And love is the most powerful healer of all. And love is what humanity collectively is about. The more love we emanate into this world, the stronger our future of humanity is. And we all have a responsibility to do that. We all have a responsibility to the future of humanity and of our beautiful planet Earth. So I'm just going to have a look and see. Oh dear, Beckant. No, Karen, how about a little bit of honour and love is great. Yeah, Kim, I think you came in after I was talking about that, love. When we are in that place of knowing our incredible power, incredible infinite power that we have within us, and when we are aligned to that, life's not rocky, love. We know how to navigate through those things that come our way. We also know how to be discerning with things that are nothing to do with us. We know how to decide how to still be empathetic, how to still be compassionate, and to offer kindness, but without losing our own power. Now, I was talking earlier about not losing when my dad passed, and I said to God, that's it, I'm not working for you anymore. Don't call on me. I'm not doing this anymore. I was so angry that he'd taken my dad. He didn't take him. Dad made a decision. God doesn't take anyone. Everybody's responsible. So we are responsible for what we decide consumes us in our life. I died on the operating table when I was 40. I've been through motorbike accidents, car accidents, births, all sorts of things. But I've never let it define me. When I've gone into a place of grief, which I certainly have, I wouldn't be human if I hadn't. When I've gone into a place of grief, it doesn't define me. It's an experience. And I live through that experience to evolve. And I don't know, Kim, if you were here for me to talk about evolving. So when we have these things that come to us that can be very troublesome for us, we evolve through them. And that's what brings us to a greater understanding. Moving home is right up there on the stress levels, Kim. And funny, we were talking about that on air this morning on the Soul Therapy show. And I said that I wheeled my furniture from the house I was living in to the house I was going to move in. And neighbours come out to hear what all the racket was. Oh, by the way, nobody offered to help. So got 101 things to do after moving. A friend asked me to help him in court. I said, no, thanks. Because everyone putting myself first. Yeah. Good choice. Good choice, Cat Gray. Good choice. And it was Cat that's moved, not Kim. Too demanding. What's demanding, Kim? It sounds like we need some boundaries in place there, darling girl. Yeah, Tanya, the good old thing, what doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. Maybe. So what else did I want to share with you today? Those people claiming to be channels, be careful. People claiming to be drawing in messages of the Council of Light and the Grand Light Council, be careful. Trust in your higher self. Align yourself to your higher self and to the divine. and you can't go wrong. You really can't. An accurate slip. Mine or yours, Kim? Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Got you. So, hooray, at least we could make it through having a chat today, not like Tuesday night. And you know what? I might start using StreamYard all the time on Facebook, especially when Facebook wants to be stupid because it's so busy censoring. And I'm not into that. I'm into living in divine light where we have expression, freedom of expression, when we come from a place of truth, a place of honor, and a place of divinity. So, being in your divinity is where you can find peace in all things in life. And have some fun with yourselves when there is a pain. When you have a pain in your body, have some fun exploring that pain rather than it consuming you. So I better duck off now and get ready for the lesson in the Heal community tonight. Thank you all for jumping on with me in this impromptu. It's wonderful to have a chat with you and to be able to see the streaming go with ease. Tremendous. If you are watching on my YouTube channel, would you please do me the most beautiful thrill of subscribing to the channel? You inspire me to come back to do my work more, and to be of service to you. So, yeah. Yeah, Melanie, not too many sleeps. Thank you all very much. God bless. Look after yourselves. See you again soon.